Let's hop back in Undead Unluck. What's up, guys? I'm here to do a breakdown / live action review to chapter 233 of Undead Unluck, which is known as Easter Egg. And we're in a very interesting point. My apologies, my brain it just completely slipped my mind. I kept reading it, I know what's been happening, but I just forgot to review it on the channel. These things do, in fact. I'm doing the same thing with Record of Ragnarok. I missed so many chapters of Record of Ragnarok because I just read it. I was like, cool. And then I moved on. So I need to fix that. I'm going to fix this. Though I think ultimately Undead Unluck is ending very soon. Possibly next, maybe January soon. I don't think it's going to end in December. I think 3 chapters is too little time to end the series. But I could see it ending in 10. Really. We really are at final boss tier territories. Unless we have a secret extended fight with Luna. And I think we're cooked. And not even in a bad way, but I think the series is about to end. But let's not waste more time now. Let's hop right into it. Ending me. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil here. Fun fact, I do mean to have it on me and keep it on me at all times. And another fun fact, let's just talk about the couple developments that happened in the couple chapters that I missed. And what I think about them. First things first, Juiz coming back. Fine with that. Perfectly fine with that. Ultimately using Remember at this point now that Juiz was able to probably be recreated, quote unquote, through Victor. Well, through Apocalypse, giving the information to Julia, who ended up getting Victor from Andy, and then bada bing, bada boom, that created the proper vessel for Juiz again. I'm cool with that. I'm down with that. I live with it. I rock with it. Andy and Victor both coexisting currently now thanks to Unrepair is a really creative exploit of the system. Honestly, I was really ready for it to be a final sacrifice kind of thing, but considering the 101st loop, as Luna mentions here, the first part and the first panel, it does make sense that ultimately they do get the best ending, especially considering what it means for fighting Soul, as he's the last planetary body left surrounding Sun. I'm used to calling Sun Soul, even though we have Soul, the entity, which is currently the last planet defending Sun, the Great Uma. And I'm glad that he's getting spited. Ultimately, I do think, and part of me is going back and forth on whether or not Undead Unluck got chopped, or if it is just how Tezuka Sensei wanted to end it. I feel like it's too popular to get chopped, which is strange, right? Undead Unluck definitely isn't held in the same regard as your My Hero Academias or your Black Clovers, or even series of a similar length like your Jujutsu Kaisens or anything like that. But I don't know, it does feel a tad bit rushed, and that's why, as cathartic as it is to see Soul wronged by the coexistence of both Victor and Andy permanently now, I'm still a little bit darn, G. Be cool if I actually knew the character a bit more than the 5 panels we got of him. Other than that, though, I'm fine with almost every other single development. The main thing of it, I'm glad my Glorious King Shen also got his get back. He defeated Time, which I do wish was more of an extensive battle, but that kind of just got one panel, which is fine. Notably, I feel like I'm the biggest Shen fan. Well, maybe not the biggest. Once again, I don't know too much about the Undead Unluck fandom actually, but I feel like I'm one of the largest Shen fans in existence. So it makes sense that his fight just kind of got glazed over. I do like that he got to experience aging, right? He got to reach that point where his body was probably declining, even though he went through the Asgardian treatment where getting older actually made him stronger according to Time. I do like that he got to experience that at least. And now that he's reduced back to his young state, now that he has Unfade again, he's good. But with that, all that being the case, let's actually hop right into chapter 233, Easter Egg. How did I voice Luna? I really forget. How did I voice Luna? In Loop 101, they attained the highest number of seats in history, with over 20 negators fighting in Ragnarok. Without an ounce of animosity between them, and their goals united, they fight to slay God. Now, once again, with the revelation, which is not a new revelation, but the revelation that Soul is the most ancient of all the Master Rules, I do genuinely wonder, did Luna create Soul? They describe it as a game they play between these two, but whenever, and I keep saying Soul, as in, we know Luna created Soul, the Master Rule. I gotta start calling him Soul with an L? No. Because both have L. Soul without a U? No. What's another name? I'm struggling. Why there are so many other words that mean sun. I just don't want to call him Sun, because Luna has a name. So I don't just call Luna Moon, but technically, I suppose. So we'll just call him Sun. We'll call him Sun. But ultimately, whenever Luna refers to Sun, they don't ever say fight to slay a god. They say fight to slay God, almost as if Luna is the lesser of the two. Ultimately, Sun is still their creator. But at the same time, what this whole dynamic reminds me heavily of is Greek mythology. Very specifically with Gaia being the originator, the birth, the origin, especially with Sol being born of Luna, not specifically Sun, who made everybody else. I almost want to think it's like the Gaia-Urano situation, where Luna made Sun, but then let Sun rule and have more power. Like how Gaia made Uranus, but Uranus became king. Gaia, like the Greek mythology is never really ever a matriarchy. It's always a patriarchy where there is a king and then a ruling king and then a queen. And that legacy goes down from Rhea and Kronos, where Kronos is, and honestly the story loops a couple times, but Kronos is the younger to Rhea, but she's not the ruling queen of the Titans. He's just the queen alongside the king Titan. And then it goes down to Hera and Zeus, the same scenario with Luna and Kronos. So like, or not Luna and Kronos, the same scenario with Rhea and Kronos. So I wonder if it's something like that, because their whole dynamic is still strange. Because then Luna would be God too. But they play games with the names, and they play games with each other, which implies some sort of equality. But at the same time, we've never actually heard Sun speak. At least I don't think we have. He's never spoken. He's never articulated. He's always felt much more like a mass of power that, if anything, was molded by Luna's ambitions rather than a sentient creature all to themselves, which feels so strange, but interesting. That's why I do want more information on Sun before they end up defeating him, because presumably we're going to end up defeating him. If Andy and Victor are allowed to coexist with their respective loves, I'm assuming ultimately this series will end in a positive way. We'll see. But even so, you're a few pieces short. Oh, okay. All right, let's see. Fuuko, I'll make up for my past deeds later. Oh, that's right. Because he remembered everything he did, including, notably, he didn't actually do it. He failed. Like, he didn't actually succeed in slaying Fuuko. Let's see. Fuuko, I'll make up for my past deeds later. What are you doing right now? I swear I'll apologize. Just tell me how we can beat this guy. I didn't take part in the battle in the previous sloop. That is true. Then again, like, his ability, I mean, it could be useful for catching Sun off guard, because considering Sun would literally not be able to perceive him or anyone he is fighting alongside. Let's see. In the previous sloop, we had 2 of the sacred spirit treasures. The sacred spirit treasures? Are they different from artifacts? Kind of. They're like super artifacts. Let's see. The 3 sacred spirit treasures. The 3 artifacts assigned to combat God. Now, one thing, I forget. Were they well, let me see if they mention it. No. Were they designed by Luna? I think they were designed by Luna, because they were made by Luna in order to help humanity, quote unquote. Once again, like, Luna played the game. I don't know. It really all depends on the true nature of these almost esoteric, hard to understand, beyond our comprehension deities that Luna and Sol ultimately are. Because while I feel like we do somewhat understand Luna's intentions, I feel like we don't. Because why would you ever play a game like this if you even remotely cared about the people involved in the game? Right? I may just be tweaking. Let's see. The 3 artifacts designed to combat Sol: Rebellion, Aegis, and the Heart. That's true. We did have 2. In fact, where is Rebellion? You may need that, especially now that Juiz is restored. That's another whole loop of hatred you can stack on top of that. Let's see. Even with Rebellion and Aegis in our possession, we couldn't defeat Sol. Wait, then we just gotta find the last one, the Heart, right? Where is it? We'll go look for it right now. A little late for that, but I'm assuming they don't know. Yes. Oh, no, this is Luna speaking. Yes. Without it, you cannot overcome this final war, Ragnarok. Interesting. So, like, and that's the thing, Luna played a rigged game. Like, I don't know. Like, ultimately, the reason I love fighting games so much, even if there is some degree of randomness, to a certain degree, with some characters, I like how it ultimately is, I pick up a controller, you pick up a controller, we both play evenly, even rules, even terms. Sure, there are some characters who are better than other characters based on their stats and their frame rate and stuff like that, but ultimately, a really skilled player can take the worst characters in the game and beat a noob who's playing the best characters. And 2 people of relative skill level can have 2 teams of completely different values, completely different strengths, and still go high diff every single time. Like I've mentioned before, my main team in fighters is SS4 Gogeta. Now, just Blueku, because ultimately I ended up swapping out Lab Coat 21 because I just can't do it anymore. And then Trunks. And then occasionally, if I'm feeling fancy and spicy and devious, I'll switch out for like GT, even though he's assistant, so garbage. Like, I'll mess around a little bit, but that's my main squad. My biggest off, My person who gives me the most high diff fights ever, the guy who I've yet to be able to be like, nah, don't worry, nah, I'd win. I know every single time it's basically a coin toss on which one of us is gonna win. Broly as the anchor, Broly as the mid, and Bluku as point. Like, it is horrific, but that's the thing. That's the 50-50. That's the gamble. That's the thing we mess with. And if you wonder, do we run mirror match? Yeah. It's not fun. He's the better Bluku player. He has loops down. I still do not have loops down. Because I've been playing fighters for years at this point, but still don't have Bluku loops down. But still, all that being the case, that's a fair game. That's something you can run with. That's something you can balance. Kind of. In a way. But the way Luna plays it, what do you mean you didn't give him everything? Why would you not give him the heart if you wanted them even to have a fair chance of winning? Just the possibility of it? And what does the heart even do? How will they know? Let's see. Without it, you cannot overcome this final war. Ragnarok. Miss Julia, do you have any ideas? That's right. Technically, Julia is now... That is a weird thing. It's like, did Julia get deleted? Like, she's still there, but like, Julia is Juiz at this point. For all intents and purposes. Let's see. None! We scoured the entire world, and we couldn't find even a clue, which is crazy. It never even presented itself as a quest reward before. Oh? Golly. I'll admit, though, that unbreakable stuff really is unbreakable. Golly. Soul is going crazy, but it's still not doing anything. Let's see. He's aiming half the beams to the ground. No way. This is bad, Fuuko. The only beam that that Unmoved can pin down is the main cannon in the head. Soul secondary cannons are moving outside of Unmoved's range. Ooh, that is bad. Ooh, that is bad. Because you can just, like, Soul ultimately can just destroy the planet, right? Because that's how, technically, they win. It's impressive. I'll give credit to Soul. Obviously, the main beam is likely more powerful than all these other beams. But, like, if this is the case, this is just all Sun's doing. This beam, all these separate planetoids, this is all Soul, which is absurd. Like, this guy was so powerful. I kind of wish we did have him as his own solo fight. But let's see. And it does really make me wonder. Well, actually, no. Well, we know why, because Juiz. But like, Juiz is broken. Like, that's the one other thing I'll say. I kind of forgot to cover it in the opening section of this video. Unjustice being that broken, like, it makes perfect sense based on how it worked. But like, darn, like that is a crazy ability. It's absurd. Took all the massive rolls and just wiped them all. Soul had to run. He had to run and immediately return to Sun in order to make sure he didn't auto off himself too. That is crazy. Let's see. The Earth's gonna be destroyed. Yeah, so you have to destroy Soul now. Let's see. Huh? We can't dodge the beams forever. Now's not the time to fixate on the spirit treasures. We need to keep Sun from. That is true, but where is Rebellion and Aegis? Can you not summon them back? Like, well, obviously, I wonder if Fuuko has them, but just isn't using them for some reason. You think she would? I don't think they have them right now, right? Did I forget that detail? I don't think. Yeah. Because Andy's still wielding his regular katana, and Victor doesn't have any weapon. Like, he's just wielding his regular abilities. Like, where are the Aegis and the shield? Because this is the unbreakable shield. This is an Aegis. And Rebellion is nowhere to be found. Let's see. Wait a second. Hear me out. Luna called this a game. A game between Luna and Sun to see whose vision the world will shape itself into. But so let's all strike, like, and that's the one thing that it does imply. With the fact that it is a game, it does imply that Sun is conscious. Like, there is a soul within Soul, and I'm not talking about Soul. Yes, I'm going to keep saying Soul because I like the idea of referring to the Sun as SOL, which is Soul, which means Sun in Greek. I'm gonna say Greek because I'm not confident. But with it being the case, it implies that there's some sentience. But I'd love to hear him speak. Like, I'd love to hear him actually have a thought or something. Let's say a game between Luna and Sun to see whose vision the world will shape itself into. And what is Luna's vision? Because only Luna is perfectly fine with letting these people suffer for loop after loop after loop after loop after loop. Let's see. Oh, darn, yeah. So that is a large. So that's a nice calm little undead upscale. Someone count this. Because this is all of Soul's beams. So this is all the energy from Soul exclusively lighting up what looks to be Europe. All of Europe. At least a decent chunk of it. Because that's Africa. Yeah, that's Africa. So basically all of Europe is getting lit up right now. By Soul exclusively. And this center point is likely Sun's beam. Let's see. Luna's, once again, I love how Luna is strong. I do wonder if they do have like a genuine physical form under there, same thing with Sun, or if this truly is what they are, or it's just in universe, it's the abstraction of what the higher archetypal beings of Sun and Luna form themselves into. And I wonder if those are like even their real names, or if they chose those names in order to interact with the negators. Let's see. Luna has prepared the means for us to fight, those being negator abilities and artifacts. Which once again goes to show how, like, so I guess technically that is Luna's attempt of balancing the game, quote unquote, going back to my earlier example, because the fact that negator abilities can even override the master rules and can remotely at all combat the gods. Once again, it is debatable on how seriously Sun takes this stuff, right? Like, it is extremely debatable whether or not he takes it at all seriously, whether or not he could legit just blink and override all their negator abilities. But considering Andy's literally never died, maybe not. Maybe these rules that Luna asserts are literally the rules of the game, which obviously the game of life, I suppose. But at the same time, that once again kind of asserts the idea that while Soul may be the big, bad, crazy destroyer, and may seem larger and more dangerous as he represents the sun versus what would just be our moon in Luna, it may go back to that Greek mythology thing where ultimately Gaia, or Luna, created Soul. And thusly, Soul can only combat, not override the rules and stipulations in place or put in place by Luna. It's like you can't change, like, ultimately, Luna is the highest admin. She gave Sun admin privileges, but the admin privileges that Luna has cannot be overridden by Sun. Let's see. And artifacts. And the artifacts specifically crafted among them, the sacred spirit treasures. We can't ignore them. That's true, you do need them. Let's see. But isn't there a chance it's just a bluff? Try to remember the previous loop. Ano Sensei's G-Liner. It's the most important endgame item if you find it. And she made Sensei, the unknown negator, hold it. Which was such a... like, the most evil move imaginable, which is crazy. Was it? It's always been here, since the very beginning, somewhere in this world. That is true. And specifically... in fact, what did they ever end up doing with that pen? Because, like, I remember Fuuko very specifically saved her idol from it by picking it up and going away with it. So, ultimately, they never did activate their negator ability. Ano, whatever they're called. Ano's G-Liner, Ano Sensei, like, they just lived a regular life, which is great for them, but, like, where is it? Fuuko, I forget what she did with it. I straight up, dude, couldn't you have drawn the heart? But then again, she has no idea what the heart is. I was like, somewhere in this world, no matter where we looked in this world, it couldn't be found. But we're at a level now where we can figure out where that is. I'll fight. And that goes to show how much they've improved. Because they're doing all this chatting, all this talking, all this discernment, while literally fighting Soul. And Soul. Fighting Sun and Soul at the same time. And they're doing this. Man, it goes to show how much the verse has grown in power. And realistically, all just in this loop, too. Let's see. Yes, that is correct. It lies within the ficklest and most dangerous location in this world. Ooh, oh shoot! Once again, another crazy feat. Any of my calc beasts out there. Then again, technically, like, Soul has the feat of destroying the planet, right? Like, ultimately, the peak of the verse is planetary, at least for Soul's like on-screen feat. But then again, technically, with like the galaxy summon, they do create like the rest of the universe, because ultimately it's implied that. And ironically enough, it's somewhat implied, especially by the nature of it being a game and so on, so that it could be a very similar scenario to... the game's super duper old. I'm going to spoil it, especially because I haven't played it, but I just spoiled myself. I'm going to spoil everything. If you don't want spoilers for Xenoblade Chronicles 1, skip like maybe a minute ahead. But in Xenoblade Chronicles 1, it's revealed that the entire world was an experiment run by Zanza. Zanza? Yeah, Zanza. I was confusing with the character from Gachagura. But Zanza, he was a scientist in the previous world who created that world in his own image on a whim. Essentially, it was that. So maybe that's the same case, especially with this world being a simulation, quote unquote, where the rest of the universe doesn't even exist until they manifest it through one of the consequences of the quest, right? That's entirely possible. Where ultimately Luna and Soul, or even possibly just Luna themselves, created this world and is ultimately a human from the real world. And we're going to find out that Undead Unluck is a world within a world. Kind of like how Xenoblade Chronicles is a world technically within a world. This isn't the first time this happened in major manga series. Like, there are a bunch of reveals. There's a reveal from my favorite manga ever, which I won't spoil because I want people to read manga. But there's something very similar to that happens in that universe. So I wonder if it's the same thing here. Let's see. Fickleest and most dangerous location in this world. Even if you figure out its location, you won't be able to touch it. Oh, interesting. Man, shout outs to my glorious king Chikara, bro, man. He literally went blind and said, hold on, let me figure out the hearing tech. Let me mutate my ability real quick. Golly, shout out to my boy. Let's see. For that location means death. Oh, for who though? For who though? Ooh, death for who? Let's see. Gina. I want to say that's Billy? Yeah, that's Billy and Teller. Let's see. I need all of you to lend me your wisdom. I'm sure there's an answer to this. We'll find it right here and now. The final secret treasure. The heart. But where are the other two? Like, obviously the heart will definitely help. It's the final secret treasure. But, like, where are the other two? Where's Rebellion and where's Aegis? Am I tweaking? Do they already have them? I just generally forget. Let's see. This is a heck of a time to solve a riddle. Give this old man a break here. This is outside my wheelhouse. Billy, you can do almost anything, dog. Especially with all those memories. If you don't get active. Let's see. I need to think like Luna. Fuuko. Oh wait, this is Sean. Fuuko. I don't know if what I'm about to say is useful, but let me tell you how the gang hides its goods. They either hide it in one spot or they constantly keep it moving. If Julia squashed the chance of it being the former, then it has to be the latter. To keep it moving, they use a person. So the heart. Oh, it's literally a heart. Whose heart though? Like, what if it's Andy's heart? What if it's maybe Andy or Victor's heart? Because technically it means death, right? So the key to the heart, the way you kill an immortal is to take the heart of another immortal. Ooh, that can be a bad. And it is dangerous and volatile. It's consistently moving. Andy/Victor. So, ooh, maybe. Let's see. Usually the most dangerous guy around to boot. Andy and Victor. Ooh, wait, let's see. Someone who not even the cops can touch. If they get a bunch of guys like that and keep the goods moving between them. I don't know if there's any, a bunch of guys. It's just been Andy. But then again, I guess only Victor and Andy are two. That could be a bunch. Let's see. I don't know if any of this is useful info, but yeah. Fuuko thinking. She thought of something. Always moving. Could be that a person is holding it. If that person hasn't been found after this many loops, then that person must not be aware of it themselves. That makes sense. Let's see. The holder must change each and every time. Soul Cold Soul players. She is thinking big brain. She's collecting dots I can't even think of. If Luna recognizes negators as players in the game, the negator is unconsciously holding it. So the heart is likely something. Well, I do genuinely believe it's something literal, right? It has to be like a literal heart. It'll explain why they don't know what it looks like, I guess. Because we do. Oh, I want maybe. It really depends on what the heart does. Because Aegis is the ultimate shield, and then if Aegis is the ultimate shield and Rebellion is the ultimate weapon, what role does the heart play? Is it a drastic stat amper? Because I'm thinking of it in like KH terms, where you have to pick between the staff, the shield, and the sword. The sword raises your attack, the shield raises your defense, and the staff increases your magical abilities. So would the heart drastically boost the abilities of all negators? I'm guessing, even to the point where they could override Soul. Like maybe Unbreakable would be able to make even bigger shields faster, or Top would be able to reach faster speeds even quicker, and Fuuko's luck would get even great. Like, I don't know. Presumably something along those lines. Because I can't imagine if it was just like another big weapon. I don't think it would really change anything. But then again, it may just be stronger than Rebellion. Let's see. Someone among us then? Yeah, presumably because they have all the negators. The only ones who weren't included in this loop is technically Ano Sensei themselves. Because they were specifically chosen by Fuuko to avoid their fate. Alright, so like that was the one thing that happened there. Someone among us then? Correct. It lies within us. And I do like this. I do like how Luna is having this strange sort of pseudo conversation, even if it is purely one-sided. Luna is always there. Once again, sort of building into their idea that they are the true deity of this world. They understand everything and hear everything that's going on within it. And notably, Fuuko's thinking right now. Like, she hasn't verbalized any of this. She's genuinely thinking. So Luna just is. And I love that. And I don't even think it just has to do with the fact that Fuuko rode the round table into this loop. I think it genuinely has to do with the fact that Luna is all. The light within the darkness, quote unquote. Let's see. Correct. It lies within the negator. For the previous loop, Mr. Juiz's party consisted of Victor, Gina, Mr. Nico, and Mr. Void. We can exclude them. Correct? Correct. Can we not find it because it's within a person's body? What makes it even more difficult to obtain since the artifact under those conditions is... it's unreachable. It's untouchable. You have to reach into the person and yank it out. But then again, if it's their literal heart, that's why it means death. I was like, correct. It is indeed in their body. Ooh, okay, Ludo, getting close. They're the vessel among all negators who is the hardest to touch and the easiest to die, causing their holder to constantly change hands. Is it fuuko, bro? Because of Unluck? Is it fuuko, bro? Because the hardest to touch and the easiest to die. It's gonna be fuuko, ain't it? This was unaccounted for. I never thought you would continue to live. So that's the thing. So whose side are you on? Like, if you never thought, I'm assuming it has to be fuuko. It has to be fuuko, right? You continue to live all this time. Thank you for living all this time. We are so glad that we picked you. My heart is the heart. And he's like, wait. They don't love you like I love you. Wait. What? A plot twist. In order to beat the final villain, you gotta kill our main character. Okay, golly. That was okay. The heart is Fuuko's heart. But how does it switch? So does it carry with... Does it spawn within a person and then that person is guaranteed to get unlocked after the previous user dies? Huh. And I don't know, why is Unluck the only one that shifts? Because like loop after loop after loop after loop. But then again, I guess maybe the rule just shifts to a new person whenever someone dies. Because technically Shen died last loop and it went right to... Girl whose name I'm forgetting. His wife. Alright? He went to her. So I guess technically, yeah, even as long as the loop doesn't end, as long as the death of the negator is not in accordance with Ragnarok, technically the ability will shift over to the next person. We see that even with Unbreakable, where it gets passed down through the family lines because of the connections. And because they all die within the same loop, it just gets passed down. And then that loop re-begins and Unbreakable starts where it began. So, in that case, for all intents and purposes, it makes sense. So I wonder, those are the many Unlucky. But you would think there'd be more. Unless Unluck is like a relatively young ability. This is only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. And you know, this is a good way to bring back that plot point too. Because I thought it was weird that we introduced that and then kind of immediately glazed over it. The idea that there are souls, there's soul history and soul data, but ultimately it doesn't necessarily matter all too much in the grand scheme of things. Now it does matter. They were the previous characters of the heart, and now Fuuko needs to sacrifice hers in order to engage. How's Annie gonna feel about that? Ugh. Let's see. look at that grade. Look at that grade. And whosoever touches it will have the greatest stroke of unluck in history to befall them. Befall them? So we have to kill both our main characters? Like, because I'm assuming what has to happen is, unless they find a way to subvert it, what's going to have to happen is that Andy is going to have to grab Fuuko and then push her into Soul, or push her into Sun, and then as she's burning alive, presumably, grab the heart. So then the greatest stroke of unluck hits all three of them. It hits Fuuko before the ability leaves her. It hits Andy, because he's the trigger of the unluck, and then since he's in contact with Soul, it hits Soul or Sun as well. That's crazy. So, but like, once again, cruel game master. Why did you build it this way, Luna? Whose side are you on? Why did you build it that way? Look at that devious grin. You know they're happy. I was like, Andy, please pull it out and use it. My heart, the heart. And he's like, oh, no. There's got to be a way around it. They're gonna figure out some way around it. Once again, I mean, Undead Unluck has been a really dark series, so maybe they are just gonna go with both of our main characters have to die. Heck, remember the original goal of Andy was to die, but like that'd be a way to end your series, dog. Nice. Overall, a W chapter. Even if it is solely focused really on the heart, not necessarily much else happens in it. It is just a discussion of the heart and the three sacred spirit treasures, two of which are still missing here and right now, and does genuinely make me wonder the relevance of the other two, if the heart was always going to be this powerful, or presumably as powerful as it needs to be to actually defeat Soul and win Ragnarok. Still, it's a really good chapter. It's a good character conflict. It brings back plot points that I thought were completely forgotten and then applies them in a really interesting way. It brings up a fantastic moral conundrum for Andy and Fuuko, although I love how Fuuko's already immediately willing to sacrifice herself for it. I'm interested to see Andy's response. Overall, a W chapter. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, please leave heart the. Yeah, instead of the heart the. I'm sorry. Sometimes people get mad on creative, but leave heart the in the comment section down below. And thank you so much for watching. Please remember to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure that all notifications so you not miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do want to have a Patreon down below where you can support me for as low as $1 a month. Things like exclusive videos, content, and more. So now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. So those perks will include the live reactions to every series I have to review, ad free variations of all my videos, and becoming $200 Patreon or a $20 member. You can order whatever video you want. Also, I do have a link to my Ko-Fi in the description down below where you can drop 5 beans for a short video, 200 beans for one video, or any beans at all. Any support is always greatly appreciated. Now, I'd like to thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Guy with a Pencil, writing off. I'd like to give a thank you to our $3 members, Zara, Greyhound, Eternal Flame, Redwolf 4765, Astro, Brandon Payne, Glacier XZ, and G Prosper. And I'd like to give a thank you to our $5 members, A+A, Ignil Lind, Kevin Encarnacion, Midnight Lord 21, and Sean. And I'd like to give a thank you to our $7 members, Fine, Austin Wimberly, Uchiha, and Yuki Ally. And I'd like to give a thank you to our $10 members, AZ Void, J Warrior, and Robbie Uchiha. And I'd like to give a big old thank you to our $10 patrons, Overlord Zero, Waki Munoz, and Idem Okami. And I'd like to give a final gracious gargantuan thank you to our $100 That Guy with a Pencil tier patron, Calvin Elder.